My friends, let me give you a little bit of a warning for those. We always have to do this. That in the event there is anybody watching who is, I guess for lack of a better word, who might be sensitive to this particular subject matter, who might find it problematic, please be advised this might not be for you. Okay? If you or anybody knows of somebody who perhaps might be in the throes of perhaps contemplating self-harm, please use the 988 is the special number for people. Emphasis can't be put on this enough to explain how many people sometimes will find themselves, or how many young people are involved in self-harm for reasons that are, it's kind of incalculable, but nonetheless a part of what we should consider. That's all I'm going to tell you. This is not for the squeamish today, and this is not for the, I guess, those individuals who love to be super conspiratorial. Let me also beg your forgiveness. I did ABC this morning from 2 to 6. I've been up since about 1. I got a little bit of a kind of a cat nap. So if my sentences trail more than usual, if I have a hard time finding names, if I seem confused more than usual, please forgive me. Raul says Virginia's demise smells fishy. Absolutely. Now, here is the thing. Our good friend Big Caesar says I'm going to use the M word and not the S word. Big, I love you to death, but you don't know shit about anything. Now, I mean that with all due respect, and don't take it the wrong way, and I do too. We don't know anything. You're just reading a newspaper and you're saying, yep. I think Mrs. L asked a question. Could she theoretically have been dispatched before? Absolutely. Two things are happening. Remember, you don't know anything. Nothing. You haven't seen police reports, tox reports. What about her? What was the modality of self-harm? What was done? What was done? How was it? She wasn't found suspended in a closet. There's no gunshot. What was it? She was found what? They don't even tell you. So you don't know anything. Anything. So for you to say, I think that you're just saying this because maybe it's your nature. You kind of love that intrigue. I don't know what happened to you. I can't tell you what happened to her. I don't know what happened. I don't know this. I do not know. So let me just get this out of the way. What they're going to do is they're going to say, well, we've turned it over to the authorities of Australia, and the Australians, and they're not going to do anything. This is going to be forgotten. Plus, it was just on a Saturday. What time was it when you woke me up from my beauty rest this morning? When was that? Yeah, but when did I? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I can't. My time is like, woo. Mrs. L told me right away when I found out she was dead. I thought, oh no, what happened? Now, I'm suspicious with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm suspicious too, but we don't know anything. So if you say it was, M1, murder one, or how do you know? You don't know. You don't know. That's number one. Number two, did anybody like her? This is a different. Did you ever feel sympathetic towards her? Be honest. Be honest. When I saw the picture of her standing next to Andrew and Ghislaine, I saw a young girl, very, very, But later on, she's hardened. She's hardened. Did you ever feel sorry for her the way later on? And I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this. Now that's sometimes people who are victims become the spokespeople. Later on, she came to me sometimes opportunistic, hard. She wasn't that good of a witness. This is the one that I found. Listen, let me explain to you. Alan Dershowitz has been not accused of anything. She was the only one, at least initially, and that was dropped. Okay. Alan Dershowitz. She claimed later on, and he claimed it was a mistaken identity. So she dropped the charges. Look, I don't care how they do it. I wasn't there. Whatever they say is fine. Who, you mean to tell me she said Alan Dershowitz at some point, and then later on throughout all these years, after he's on TV and they're on TV and back and forth, and David Boies, then she realizes later, you know what? Come to think of it. So I don't believe it. Could it have been true? Apparently not, because they've decided to drop it in everybody's best interest. I don't know if there's any other deal. I don't know anything. But all I know is there's settlement and lawsuits and this, and she's in this beautiful house in Australia. She settled with this one. I sued with this one. And that's fine. And as a lawyer, I'm telling you, that's your right. But when you start suing like the Diddy's people, it's all about money. And their whole life, from the time they're kids, is about money. It's about their own exploitation. And here's the thing. If you're looking for girls and kids who are pulled off the street and thrown into this, you're not going to find that. These were girls who I still think were too young to do this, but nobody forced them. Nobody. I mean, maybe there's one. Let me explain to you why. If you're Epstein, if you're Ghislaine, and you're trying to set people up in some kind of a honey trap or whatever it is, you can't have girls or anybody who would be saying, they're exploiting me, help me. Hey, mister, help me here. No. Can you imagine if it was a Bill Gates or a Bill Clinton, hypothetically, and you've got some girl who's the masseuse. You know how I remember this? Masseuse is a woman, masseur is a man. You know why? Sir, masseur. Get it? Sir. Anyway. You're not going to have somebody who's there claiming, help me. You got to help me. No. It doesn't work that way. And what happens is you want somebody who is there voluntarily, even though they cannot consent legally. And a lot of those girls themselves were recruited by other girls. Now, what I'm saying is not in any way to say, well, they're excusable. No. We have laws. We have ages. But understand who these people are. And when you have been involved, when you have been sold and you have bartered and you've sold yourself, and there have been some who ended up doing rather handsomely as far as we're concerned. We don't know the full number, the full roster, how many people settled. We don't know. That's why we don't have any women who are appearing in court as victims. It was Virginia Giuffre. That's it. So there's a lot of gray to this thing. This is a really weird case. There's something that happens also, which is very sad. A lot of times these girls themselves who involve themselves in this become so used to the commodification of their own bodies that they barter and sell themselves. I know you don't want to hear this. I know people don't want to hear this. I know this drives people crazy, but I'm telling you, they're really, sometimes you got to really be careful. If you are ever in the position of being around, and you've got to know this, and I saw this, especially when I was prosecuting and defending. Sometimes girls, especially who are involved in the state system, CPS, foster care, they know if I don't like this one, all I can do is pick up the phone, tell them that this guy did something, and I can ruin your life. And they sometimes figure nobody cared about me. I don't care about them. Not everybody, but some of these girls are predatory. I mean, it changes them. It hardens them. And a lot of them are not nice. So when you find yourself in the position, remember, if you're involved in this, be very careful. Prostitution, these are not prostitutes. A child cannot be a prostitute under the law. There's no way. But when you deal with this, you better really be careful. These are some of the slickest people. Have you ever been around, to an extent, dancers, anybody in the sex business in any way whatsoever? It compromises your sense of rationality. It compromises your ability to focus and to think normally. Why? Because you live in this world that's just bizarre. And imagine if from the beginning, from your earliest, you realize I can sell my body theoretically. And by the way, sometimes it's so sad. Some of these girls, not all, some walk away and are forever affected or not affected. But Virginia Giuffre at the end, she knew exactly what she was doing. I don't want to say she's a professional victim, but she lawyered up. She knew what to say. She was the spokesperson. And who knows, who can blame her? Maybe she figures, listen, you ruined me. But let me tell you something. If Ghislaine Maxwell had taken that stand and said, tell me one person that I lured, that I grabbed. Tell me, did anybody walk away? How many girls ever walked away? Listen to what I'm saying. I know that when I'm telling you this, people are going to take this the wrong way. You got to understand what we're talking about here. This would be my cross-examination. How many girls walked away? None. Ghislaine, did you ever have any, did you lock them up? Did you do head count at night? No. I've got recruits because the girls would go out and get young girls to come in to be a masseuse or whatever, or who wanted to get the Louis Vuitton and travel. They knew exactly what was going on. They talked to each other when they went out to recruit. What do you think they said? This wasn't like some kind of cult where you don't know what you're getting into. Like, hey, why don't you meet? Like the old days, remember the Moonies and, This is a really tough story. Nobody other than Virginia Giuffre, there were a couple others, and it's tragic. This should have never happened in the first place. But understand, Ghislaine Maxwell could have very easily have said, oh, and not only this, not only were the girls not forced, the government knew about this. You have an ex-president, you have Bill Clinton. You think the government doesn't know what he's doing? Right now, we know exactly what Obama's doing, Bill Clinton's doing. Who else? George W. Bush. You don't lose track of the government of a man who once held the nuclear codes. He doesn't walk away and go into private society, private life, never to be followed again, No, it doesn't exist. They knew exactly. So if Ghislaine Maxwell says, don't give me this bullshit about, oh, you had no idea. You know exactly. Prince Andrew, they covered up for him. They knew what we were doing. Hell, he probably had some bodyguards there. This is the problem with Ghislaine. This is what she could testify to. How she's still with us, I have no idea. And did you hear this recent, who was it? Our good friend, John Kiriakou was debating with Dershowitz. By the way, Dershowitz, his time is up. He comes across as such a clown. The same thing with a lot of folks, all right? Junk Yogurt and, the Rabbi Shmuley, and you don't really see him anymore, but they're not conveying this. They're not doing a very good job. But John Kiriakou was on, I think it was that Piers Morgan, another one, or Piers Morgan. So, Carson Van McHuber, I love this. Carson Van McHuber says, Lionel, it seems you never sleep. Your coffee is on me. You're a machine. Keep it up. Thank you. Yes, I'm also demented. But what do you mean? I'm demented. So there was, so anyway, so there was this piece where you had Dershowitz and Kiriakou, and Dershowitz said, "Oh, that's not Mossad. Mossad wasn't behind uh, uh, Epstein." And Kiriakou said, "Wait a minute." And Kiriakou, we interviewed him. He's former CIA. He goes, "This would be the first person I'd recruit. Somebody's got to tell. Look, Dershowitz, you love to go on camera too much. You have. I'm just telling you, whatever you did then, it's over. You got to back off. You're becoming a clown where people aren't listening to you anymore. It's like, oh, here he comes. And you're just the apologist. Just like there are some people who come across and all they, oh, and this Dave Smith and Charles, what's his name, Murray? This is so stupid. Arguing about, this is nonsense. You got to back off. You got to back off because you're not listening to the issue. The bottom line is simply this. Would it surprise you if I told you that Israeli intel with Ehud Barak, Les Wexner, Epstein's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, you don't see any connection possibly where somebody in Israeli circles could say, listen, we have some of the most prominent not Israelis, but Jewish citizens here. You don't think? You know, Israel, and this is not, I'm not an anti-Semitic in the least. When you have spent your entire existence from 1948, basically battling for your existence, as they will tell you, everything in the country is connected. Remember, Amman is military intelligence. Mossad is more like CIA. Everything from El Al to airports to security to hotel, it's all a part of one system. So you mean to tell me you think that somebody is that you've got this guy, Epstein? Thank you, Mr. Riddle. Thank you, sir. You've got Epstein with Dershowitz, and I know he's going to say, I don't know anything about this. Okay, that's fine. And Ehud Barak. And this is, and we all say almost axiomatically, though I don't know after October 7th, I don't know. But they've always said that this is the greatest intelligence agency in the world. They are 24/7. They think of things you've never thought about. Honeypot? What if I told you, hey, listen, theoretically, let me just imagine this. If I were to tell you, guess what I've got? I've got a hard drive of some pretty nasty, well, some not nasty, but some pretty interesting people involved in some pretty uncompromising. Who is it? Who? Elon Musk, George Bush, Donald Trump Jr., whatever. Let's just say I just gave you a bunch of names. Not that I'm saying that, but you don't think that's worth something? I mean, seriously, you don't think Israel or our CIA ever thought about, we've got a guy who's basically pulling in, and there are other people, heads of companies, telecoms, big tech, who are involved in this. You think nobody would ever want to have them? And come on, you've got to be kidding me. How naive are we supposed to be? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what else doesn't make any sense to me? It doesn't make any sense to me when people don't listen to the words, the great words from our great sponsors, especially people right now who really need this critical information. Are you drowning in debt, struggling with credit cards or medical bills or personal loans? Well, you're not alone. There's help, real help available right now. National Debt Relief is one of the top-rated debt relief companies in America, helping thousands of individuals like you break free from overwhelming financial burdens. For anyone owing over $10,000, National Debt Relief may be able to reduce that debt by up to half or even more. No bankruptcy, no new loans, just a smarter, faster way to financial freedom. Here's how it works. Step 1, you submit the form at No Debt with Lionel. Just go there right now. Step 2, A representative will call within minutes to discuss personalized options. In step 3, they'll create an affordable plan tailored to your individual budget and timeline. Many clients become debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months, paying less than they owe and avoiding years of stress and interest. And the consultation is completely free with no obligation. So what are you waiting for? Why keep dodging calls and watching interest stack up? So go right now to NoDebtWithLionel.com. That's NoDebtWithLionel.com. This could be the turning point, the step toward peace of mind, control, and a fresh start. NoDebtWithLionel.com. Go now. Our thanks to Kate. Kate says, Virginia, rest in peace. You went up against everyone, which is true. Where's that ex-husband, the estranged husband, her kids? Oh, no. This was a woman who was destined. You knew this was going to happen. You knew this. 3 kids. I don't understand any of this. It's as though nobody. First of all, you sealed your fate by moving to another country where you don't have the scrutiny you have here. That was dangerous. It's one thing for you to, if you're in Perth or something and you're on these, did you see this house? There's no security. There's no nothing. That's number 1. Number 2, why now? Here we go again with a why now. Number 3, you know who's really, let me just say something right off the bat. And I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't take offense at this. I have always said that I personally like Pam Bondi, and I don't know Kash Patel, but they are so over their head, it's not even funny. And same with your boy, Pete Hegseth. You know it, and I know it. Okay, he's going to do some good stuff. I know that. But this guy, Donald Trump, loves people who are kind of good or maybe look good or they're good on TV or they're good whatever it is, and they confuse that. Notice how Dan Bongino, you don't hear anything from him. He realizes, I don't know if I like this. I wanted this, but Carrie Lake, where is she? Who knows who these people are? They're just, but let me tell you about our friend Pam Bondi. She is going to have people now ask her, what are you going to do about Epstein? And we don't want to hear this nonsense about, well, I've got more files. We don't care about your files. And Kash Patel, what about you? What are you doing? What are we waiting for? And to quit talking about the black book and the record. That's a red herring. I don't understand this. She just had this open again right now. And let me also tell you something. And I was telling our friends at WABC today. You know, I said, let me explain to you our people, because some of you Lionel Nation folks were calling. I said, you don't know these people. I do. There's 2 groups of people. Talk radio people are fascinating, more headline oriented, and you can say more. I can say more stuff. I was going through subjects I could never talk about here without being, flagged or whatever. But then again, we can cuss here. I think not gratuitous. Well, you can if you want. I don't. I use it sparingly, only to make a point. But I told him, I said, let me explain to you something about the conspiratorium, about the Lionel Nation crew. They don't forget anything. Do you see where Richard Gage and architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth have recombined again? They were estranged. Richard Gage, I've known him for years. He was with architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. He was a guy on C-SPAN. Remember that? Oh my God, it was the biggest C-SPAN ever. He was talking about Building 7. Anyway, for some reason they split, and now they're back again, which is huge. You're seeing Dane Wigington now reemerge wonderfully as the voice and the spirit of geoengineering. That's coming back. That's making this news. I said, but let me tell you something about this. The subjects, they don't forget. They don't forget. Sometimes in the terrestrial radio thing, they're not conspiratorial enough. On our side, sometimes you're too conspiratorial. You don't forget anything. You suspect everything. Nothing goes by. Nothing goes by. And you don't forget any little nuance. How about the picture? How about, did you see this? This is the saddest part of them all. This is the thing which is so critical. This was Virginia. She wrote this thing that said, hang on. I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal. I have made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me in the sake of my children, I guess for the sake of my children, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted. This is almost what people are saying. This is, dare I say, the insurance policy that people are leaving. They're doing it almost as a follow-up because we know this stuff. We've been through this before. We're not believing what we're hearing. We're not believing any of this stuff. We're not going to let things go. And Pam Bondi has got to either at some point, nobody's ever done that, maybe commence or commission a grand jury, a new one, because before it was, the charges were so stupid. One charge of human trafficking, which they added on, and then lying on a deposition. They're not serious about this. But we're not going to let this go. And from a personal point of view, what upset me the most, more than anything else, I can understand the bullshit, and I'm going to say it. I understand it. But when Bill Barr looked at me and said, this was that Epstein offed himself, no way. Now you're insulting my intelligence. Now you think I'm an idiot. Now you think I'm just some kind of an idiot. You think I buy this? Are you serious? Are you out of your mind? You really think I'm believing this? You've insulted me more than anything you can imagine. And I mean, I'm not just saying it. It's I can't stand this. Because all my life, they've been lying to me about everything from JFK. The first thing, I was just 5 years old. And even then I'm thinking, what's going on here? That's my baptism of fire. Vietnam, RFK, MLK, Watergate. It's been one thing after another. 9/11, ooh, the biggie. And I can't believe this. So the bottom line is simply this. You know and I know what happened. Number one, this girl happened to be the one who spoke up, happened to be the one who talked, happened to be the one that Andrew was involved with. Andrew, who claimed he didn't sweat. Andrew claimed he had anhydrosis. Remember that? He said, I don't sweat. You can't pick more stupid people. He's stupid. All his life, he's lived this fanciful world of doing nothing. He and Fergie still live together, right? Don't we? As far as we know, this guy's out of his tree. From Koo Stark, remember her? Remember Randy Andy? And he's. And don't be surprised if you find out one day that his daddy was Lord Porchester and not Philip. You notice how Andrew doesn't look like any of these? Doesn't have that Windsor horse face? You notice that? They're like the Kennedys or the Osmonds. They get this face. They all look alike. They all look exactly alike. You know the Kennedys especially. Mm. Who is that one? Rory? Who's the one who can eat an apple through a picket fence? Oh my God. If I could take the teeth of the Kennedys, the Osmonds, Heidi Fleiss, Bobby Ray Inman, I'm going back, and trying to think someplace, one other person I was saying, who's, the woman from New Zealand, you know, that the prime minister. If I could combine, I would have like one of these, like a coelacanth or some kind of one of these razor fish from prehistoric time. These are the straight. Anyway, the only one in the Windsors who doesn't look like that. Who? Well, Harry to an extent, but Andrew. And Andrew never had to worry about this. Andrew was so stupid. He goes on TV and says, "I never swear." What are you doing? What are you going on TV for? It's like Shannon Sharp. What's Shannon Sharp doing? What are you doing? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're telling people, "Oh, I don't." He puts a text message out that says, "I'm gonna effing choke you." What are you do? You put this in writing? Choke? You had to write this? You don't want to pick up a phone and call for that one? Do you want to write this down with your so take everything that we're doing right now and realize some of the most stupid people do the most stupid things. Because the most stupid people have gotten away with stuff for years you'll never find out about. And they figure they're bulletproof. Everybody. Now, let me tell you something. You know the guy that they really own? George Clooney. They own him. So they're going to play along. They're going to give him his Tony with that stupid dye job. You ever seen a dye job that really, I know it's a part of the movie. I understand, or the play. But have you ever seen somebody who's like, dear God. You see that Amal Clooney, how they talked about how they, oh, please. These set-up marriages are not even funny. This woman who lives in fear of autocorrect, if you know what I mean. All these people, I just hate, I can't stand all of them. They figure they can do whatever they want, and they don't care about it. I mean, do you have to, does your depravity mean that you have to, that you have to go out and have 16-year-old girls service you? Is that what are you, Ovid? Not Ovid, Caligula? I hate these people. I can't stand these people. But I also know that she, by virtue of the years and years of this stuff, she turned into this hardened person, and she figures, look, screw you, I'm going to make a dime. I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. It's part of who they are. I'm not trying to be mean, but when you are in from 16 years old or whatever it is, when you're selling your body and you're selling your time, again, through trafficking or whatever you want to call it, all you think of is, that's how I make money. The world is a joke. I'm going to outsmart them. I know what I'm doing. Nobody cares about me. I don't care about them. It hardens them. It really does. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares. And then you get this kind of a tough exterior. And frankly, he comes across as money hungry, no more so than anybody else. But if you're looking for Bo Peep, they're not there. And you know what's going to happen to her? Nothing. Nobody's going to petition Pam Bondi. Nothing. Pam Bondi is saying, she always said, we're going to get to the bottom of the leakers. Oh, would you stop this? And at least, they arrested what? One person, the judge, 2 judges. That's it. The only 2 people I think they've arrested. That's it. Now, some people there. They got to slap the Logan Act on Congress people who go and try to independently negotiate with foreign countries. So I've had this. I mean, I have had this. It's sad that she's dead, but I'm surprised it took this long. But Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, it's all on you now. What are you going to do? Deliver some more documents? I don't think they understand it. I really don't think. See, I think Pam, to a certain extent, and Kash Patel, they were great if they're a guest. They're terrific. Pete Hegseth, by the way, you know and I know, Pete Hegseth was a mistake. You know it and I know it. Stop bullshitting me about, oh no, he's good. This is a little boy. This guy is not. This is not the material we want for this. You know it and I know it. He's got a big mouth and he's part of that Fox News, a kind of a, we're the cool. Oh no, this is one of President Trump's problems. He likes pretty boys and pretty girls and the cool kids. He likes the popular folks and the rich ones and the, you know what I mean? Those are the last people. I guarantee you, my defense secretary would be some guy 6'4", with a crew cut, looks like a psycho killer, somebody who's former Marine or whatever, or maybe current. I don't know if you can do to current. That's what I want. Who looks like, who's straight, I mean, just looks like McChrystal to an extent. Not so much Petraeus, but somebody who really knows their stuff and doesn't go out and always try to listen. I'm going to say something right now. Okay. I love 35 minutes into it. I say, I'm going to say something. I've been saying something for the whole time. There are little boys and little girls. And they always want to show you, like, look, Mom, look. Remember when kids are like, look, Mom. Okay, that's great, honey. No, look, Mom, I'm hanging upside down. Yeah, okay, honey. Don't hurt yourself, honey. That's great. Look, Mom. All right, God darn, look, that's great. Look, I know you're hanging from the tree. Thank you. Joe Rogan. Love Joe Rogan. I'm doing kettlebells. I'm doing ice plunges. I'm squatting over a candle. Why? Here's Bobby Kennedy. Look at me. Look, Mom. I'm doing a bench press. He said I don't do steroids. You're doing something. Come on. Maybe it's not steroids. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. You know who we had the other day? Caroline Levitt. I like her. Except there she is in the gym. Look at me. I'm doing curls. Look at me, Mom. Look at me. See what I'm doing? Okay. All right. Pete Hegseth. Look, I'm running with the... Okay. You're running with the team. Thank you. I'm up. I'm doing calisthenics. Yeah. I'm doing PT. Okay. All right. Everybody's got to show you what they're doing. Look what I'm eating. See what I'm eating? I'm eating. Who gives a shit? You're eating. Look, I'm doing push-ups. Ooh, push-ups. I've never seen that before. What is this? It's this little boy and little girl. Mommy, look at me. This is the kind of stuff. One thing about Bill Barr, he may have been lousy, but he looked like an attorney general. Bill Barr didn't say. Maybe he played the bagpipes. That's about it. We got to get away from them. Mr. President, these people are not good for you. They're in it they're narcissistic. They're into it for themselves. The whole Fox News crowd, every single one of them is about me. And okay, that's one of the benefits of being number one. That's not what you need. You want to get somebody who does intel, now with all due respect, Tulsi Gabbard. Okay. Has anybody really inspired you yet? I think Marty McCary may do some stuff. Look at Bobby Kennedy. He's going to be the biggest flop. They own him. What's he doing? Red dye number 5? Sounds like the Brothers Johnson, Strawberry Letter. You've got Marty McCary saying, well, the red dye number 5. Wait a minute, excuse me. What about the vaccines? What about the safety? Oh, yeah, well... No, Bobby, you're the Mr. Anti-Vaxxer. Now you're into red dye and Fruit Loops? What's going on here? Did they compromise you? Did they say, Bobby, we know about this? Bobby's got some rough stuff. He's had rough with the heroin and the this and the diary. His wife, he finds hanging. This is serious stuff. Buys his wife a house, Sharon, because he strays. Did you hear about the same thing with Hegseth? I don't know if it's true, but they're saying that his wife has to keep an eye on him. What is this? What's going on here? I'm serious, Mr. President, with all due respect. This isn't a TV show you're doing. This is serious business. And Marco Rubio is Secretary of State? Oh, dear God. They still don't understand what Russia's about. They still think he took Crimea. Crimea doesn't want to be a part of Ukraine. They're not paying attention. They don't even get the first part about it. The Oblast, they don't get it. And another thing, too, is while we're on it, I'll tell you what, Trump he's fed up with Bibi, fed up with this Iran stuff. He is tired of this shit. The last thing he wrote, he says, I am not going to go and bomb Iran, and neither are you. Don't do this. Because Russia said, if Iran needs us, we're with them and say, what are you doing? What are we doing? Iran doesn't pose any threat to us. Come on, enough. Enough of this. What's going on here? I know we're allies. I understand that. Okay, I got it. But this is crazy. We're not going to back you up for everything. Do you see what's happening? You see Trump with Zelensky at the Pope's funeral? And by the way, how about that Pope? Huh? He doesn't even put Pope. He puts Francisco or whatever it was. Like, what's that all about? Maybe he wasn't the Pope. Ladies, I was just thinking. Eric says, Bergoglio funeral in St. Peter's Square and burial in St. Mary Major Basilica concluded. Fireworks or duds now ensue for 20 days. A presto. Did you see our interview with this man, Eric Thaddeus Walters? We got to do a follow-up, my friend. Unbelievable. Blew people away with the thoroughness of a prosecutor, knowing the gravamen of it was absolutely perfect. Perfect. Make the dream. Big Dick from Chi-Town says, the No Rogue Rulings Act of 2025. There you go. I'll check into that later. I hope you saw this. I hope you saw this. This was. So anyway, we've got the 100th day coming in about 4 days, right? Am I correct? Right now it has been 96 days, but 95 days. And the president has done everything you can imagine. Every single thing you can imagine. Every single day he's done something. Every day. It's just incredible. But now he's got to realize we got to get down to brass tacks. We got to get. Look at this. Kimmy Cliff says, riveting interview, watched it 3 times. Oh, it's brutal. Let me tell you something. Eric was, just absolutely nailed it. Nailed it. It was just like, wow. And I thought I understood it, but not really as much as I really didn't understand it. It was superior. In fact, dear friends, let me give you this. Let me give you this. Where it be. Oh, here we are. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Hang on a minute. And this is a usable link. Go back here. This is it right here. Watch this. Here we go. Put it into the chat thing. There it is. This was it. Watch this. Watch this interview. Blows your mind. My favorite was the box. Okay. And anyway, dear friends, what a time we've had. Keep watching. Later on today at about 3:30 Eastern time, I'll be on with my good friend Sean Atwood in the UK. We're going to be talking about this as well, so pay attention. Look at me. I'm super chatting, Lionel. Why aren't you? Why aren't I? Just kidding. Thank you for that. Thank you for your kindness and your support. Seriously, absolutely, unbelievable. So anyway, we've had a time. So to Phantomus Fanta, make the dream great again. Eric Thaddeus Walters, Kate, Joe Riddle, ladies and gentlemen, Carson Van McCuber, and Raul. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Wait to see what she's got going. And also don't forget to be a part of and know about her incredible event, May the 6th at the Cutting Room in New York City. Go to Lynn's Warriors, both on YouTube and on X, to see the specifics regarding that. So much to discuss. And I feel very sorry, very, very sorry for Virginia. There's no reason for this. Very, very sorry. But this is a most complicated thing. And Mr. President, remember something, sir. Don't ever have people, don't ever be kind to people who, through their own hubris and their own self-aggrandizement, they dilute the brilliance of your particular motivation, and make sure they don't inadvertently seek their own self-praise and adulation. Does that make sense to you? Good. All right, my friends. Have a great and a glorious and a beauteous day. It's 62 degrees today. The weather is here. I wish you were beautiful. I think a great Jimmy Buffett would say. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much. And don't forget, as usual, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dead.